Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature that's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, beautiful people, man. Grand rising to you. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book like The Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. Now, I truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you pick up your copy of the Black Billionaires Club by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Now, while you're there, guys, you also see a tab that says the store. You can find some other financial literacy books, particularly for your children. You'll find some books that introduce them to credit, investing, insurance, and also entrepreneurship. And then the other tab that's there, you'll see is a tab that calls Join the Club. That's where you can actually connect with brothers and sisters, other brothers and sisters who are serious about building wealth, serious about building business while they build themselves. And so if you find yourself in a situation where you're the smartest person in the room and you feel like it's time for you to find a new room, well, we want you to consider that maybe the Black Billionaires Club is the room for you. Again, check us out at theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. If you want to be wealthy, study wealthy people. Well, Grand Rising, man, it is a fantastic, it's a marvelous Monday here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. We'll go ahead and find out who's joined us here this morning. The early bird gets the worm. We are broadcasting into Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. In the comments below, go ahead and let them know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country, quite possibly, that you might be joining with us here this morning. Let's see who's already in the chat here. See who's here. What's up? Man, Vivian Reed has joined us as well here today from Brooklyn, New York. Brother Tyrese Lewis is in the house from Atlanta, Georgia. Jennifer Almano has joined us as well this morning from Atlanta. Happy International Women's Day. Happy Monday to you as well. Absolutely, man. Miss Teresa Gilliard is here with us this morning out of Chandler, Arizona. Miss Mankins Golden has joined us as well out of South Kakalaki, South Carolina. And we're continuing our journey into the book, The Wealth Choice. We're now moving into our sixth law of wealth, And so we should be done with this book, I believe, within 2 weeks. And so we're preparing now for the next book that's going to be on our list. And we are going to move into the book that I wrote, which is the Black Billionaires Club, before we either tackle the Black Titan or, why should white guys have all the fun? One of those, no, the Prince of Darkness. That's where we're going after that. We're going to Black Billionaires Club, then the Prince of Darkness after that. So that's what we will be reading here. That'll be the next two books, right? The Black Billionaires Club, if you don't have that, you can find it on the website. And then the Prince of Darkness. That's going to talk about a brother named Jeremiah Hamilton, who was one of the first Black men to actually trade on the stock on Wall Street. So want to find out a little bit more about that brother and his journey as he dealt with what he dealt with during his time coming up as well. But this, we're going to get into the wealth choice. Let's go ahead and do a quick recap on the first 5 laws of wealth. Good morning to you, brother Wilhelm Watt has joined us here today out of Toledo, Ohio. Miss Shiro is in the house out of Florida. Brother Ray Wilson blessed us last night, man. A brother from New Orleans. Layla Love, where you been at, sister? Yeah. What's going on, sister? How you doing? Over at Instagram, what's going on with you? Been into me. All right, been into me. What's going on with you? I think you're out of Mississippi, I believe. What's going on? ITW Investments, my brother Antoine Lowry. Good morning to you out of South Carolina. What's going on with you, Sophia Sunflower? I don't know what happened. I guess they kicked you off of Facebook, but now you're on Instagram. What's going on? I know who you are. What's going on out of North Carolina? Thanks so much for joining us today. Let's do a quick recap on our 5 laws of wealth. We'll get into the 6th law of wealth today from, again, a book, The Wealth Choice, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. Dr. Dennis Kimbro. The first law of wealth simply says this. Law number 1, that wealth begins in the mind and it ends in the purse. Wealth begins in the mind, it ends in the purse. Law number 2, law of wealth, law number 2, the second law of wealth simply says this. Decide now that you will not be poor. Decide now that you will not be poor. The third law of wealth, this is the faith law. It simply says this. The third law of wealth says this. Believe in yourself when no one else will. Believe in yourself when no one else will. And the fourth law of wealth, simply says this. Talks about your direction to thine own self be true. That's simply saying to stay in your lane. And then the fifth law of wealth simply asks this question. This is going to be the service law. Simply says, how may I serve you? How may I serve you? Right? How may I serve you? And so the first law basically just helps us to begin to understand that there are some wealth things that we can do. We can decide, or we can begin to build our wealth consciousness by speaking wealth, hanging around wealth, walking wealth, talking wealth, eating wealth. Right, as well. Yeah, part of what you eat, it has a lot to do with your wealth, your whole makeup of wealth. Right. Second law simply goes into the decision. Like, hey, you make a decision now. Now that you know better, will you decide to do better? Will you decide to choose wealth, or are you going to continue to choose poverty? One of the two. It's your choice. Right? It's your choice. Third law is the faith law. Right? To believe not only that I made it my decision, but now believe that it's possible for me. Right? To believe that it's possible for me. Fourth law talks about, hey man, there's plenty of ways to get wealthy. All you got to do is just stay in your lane. Do what you do best. Everybody put in comments on do what I do best. Do what you do best. And keep on doing what you do best. And then the fifth law goes into 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. It goes into the fourth law goes into, did I skip one? Decide, hold on. Faith law, believe in yourself. Fourth law, stay in your lane. Fifth law, service. Now that you're doing what you do best, now you figure out, okay, how can I serve you? That simply says, hey, serve more people, solve more problems, or we can say it like this, all right, to serve you better, right? To do better, right? To do better and to serve you better, right? Right? To serve better, to do better and to serve better. How can you do it even better than you did it yesterday? Right? Do what you do best, and each and every day, how can I do it better? How can I serve you better? What can I do to add value, right? Today. And so if you think about that, you say, hey, I know what I do best this morning. Now all I got to do is just figure out how can I do what I do best better today than I did it yesterday? How can I do today? How can I add more value to my customers or clients? How can I add more value into the marketplace? Right? How can I add more value? This is what I do best. Now I got to figure out how I can add more value. Okay? Let's get into this thing here today, which is the sixth law of wealth, and its title is The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken. Working on all my side hustles. I have a lot of work to catch up on. That might be a problem right there. Got a lot of side hustles. What's your main? Let's talk about main business instead of all the side hustles. Let's do that. Yeah, we're gonna level you up real fast. We're gonna level you up real fast, right? Now, I'm glad you mentioned that, by the way. Before I get into this, one of my mentees just said, hey, I've been working on all my side hustles. And she's new. She's my new mentee. And she'll learn that basically you can spend all your time working on all your side hustles, or you can spend all your time focused on your main thing, which is your main business. And so we got to make sure we get to the main business. Here's what I had to do in 2021. I understood this is a simple concept that many people, it's hard for you to grasp. I basically had to remove many streams of income this year. I removed a lot of streams of income this year, and I'm actually making more money now. Now, let me say that again for people in the back. Y'all might not have got that. Oh, wait a minute. You remove some income, you remove some streams of income, but you're actually making more money. Yes. Why? It's this thing called focus. Everybody put in console focus. I'm focusing on what I do best. And here's what I know about all of you. You do not do everything best. You do everything maybe well. You may do everything good, but you do not do everything best. And so if you focus on doing what you do best, and you find ways to add more value in the area in which you do best, then you basically command and demand the universe to pay you what you're worth. But if you choose not to focus, and you believe that I just need to have all these streams and they are average at best, well, then you miss out on the best kind of money, and you settle for the average kind of money. Let me say that again. If you choose to spread your energy so that you can do the average things at best, which is all of your side hustles, then you won't get to the place where you're actually putting your all of your energy into the thing that you do best. And therefore you settle for average kind of money instead of best kind of money. Focus. Am I making any sense to anybody? Do what I do best. Hit that like button, that share button, all that good stuff. Appreciate you. Skull Bay is up in the house, up in the hizzy. Thanks so much, man. What's going on? Dan's beautiful in the box that you're comfortable in. Kobe Bryant. That's right. Nara Brown. That's right, man. That's right. What's it called? Sweater God. That's what I'm talking about. Sweater God in the house, man. Do what I do best, right? Focus, right? Good morning to you. Focus and do what you do best. Man, the road not taken. The sixth law of wealth, the wealth choice written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's read. Let's. Oh, I got to change this. Let's read. There we go. First, we're going to start with a couple of quotes. This one's from Felix Dennis, the British publisher and philanthropist, who says this: "Dare not is one thing. Cannot is another." Not everyone can be rich, but anyone can dare to be rich. Somebody has to. Oh, let's say that again. I love this quote by, again, Felix Dennis. Dare not is one thing. Cannot is another. Not everyone can be rich, but anyone can dare to be rich. How many guys waking up this morning and said, I'm daring to be rich. I'm daring to be a millionaire. I'm daring to be a billionaire. I'm going for it. Now, Dave, something struck me this weekend. Something, I don't know what it was, from where it struck me. And it said, you know what, ERGJ? I mean, sometimes, you be having that conversation with God, or God be talking to you. You don't really be wanting to talk at the time. You're like, God, can I get some sleep? You're like, no, this is the time where you ain't paying attention to all the other stuff, so we're going to have a conversation right now. He said, you know what, ERG? Here, I got a question for you. This is Spirit talking to me, by the way. He said, I got a question for you. You know what he said to me? He said, what is actually stopping you? What does the Spirit talking to me? What's stopping you from making $1 million this year? Well, he said, what's stopping you from earning $1 million this year? What's stopping you? Everybody put in console, what's stopping me? What's stopping you? Government ain't stopping you. No. Government ain't stopping you. The seasons aren't stopping you. The weather isn't stopping you. I'm not stopping you. What's stopping you? What's holding you back? Why? He's based on something. Why have you not dared not to go after what you know you're worth? What's stopping you? That's a tough question to answer when you talking to God now. Oh, Lord, Jesus, I ain't got no excuse at this point. Oh, Lord, what do you mean what's stopping me? So it dawned on me. The only thing that's stopping me is myself. I simply have not dared to go after, dared to attract, dared to become a $1 million man, and it reflects in my bank account. So I had an epiphany. You know what? You ain't gonna talk to me like that, God. No, I ain't no punk. Okay, I ain't no punk. You might be bigger than me, but I ain't no punk. Shoot, I'm going for it. Everybody put down, so I'm going for it. Right now, I want you to think about your dream, your desire, your goal. I want you to think about the kind of money that you want to make this year, whatever that case may be, whatever it is that you know that you've been holding yourself back. I want you to take a step of faith in your belief while you type it on the keyboard or while you type it on the phone. Just simply say, I'm going for it. Why not? I mean, it's 2021. I mean, all your intelligence, all your vibrancy, as much energy as you got. I mean, what is stopping you? I'm going for it. Well, I'm going for it. Why not? Learn all that I can. Earn all that I can so I can return all that I can. Now, here's the thing. I understand that I do not pursue money. So I'm not going to go chase $1 million. What did I say? I'm a $1 million man. So I must attract it to myself by becoming a more attractive person. I need to have $1 million talks. I need to have $1 million friends. I gotta go find some of that stuff. And then $1 million will come to me easy. It'll be easy like Sunday morning. I'm going for it. Look at this, man. My sister over here on Instagram said, I set my goal high this month. I didn't set it low so that I can hit it. I set it high so I have something to go after. I set my goal high because I dare to reach it. Matter of fact, I dare to crush it. The second quote comes from Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, he said this to Shaquille O'Neal. He said this, and I quote, "It's okay to be a superstar. It's okay to be the man in LA, but sooner or later, you'll need to start owning things." It's okay to be the superstar, Shaquille O'Neal. It's okay for you to be the man or be the woman. It's okay. It's okay for you to be the woman, Miss Being to me. It's okay for you to be the man, Mr. Metaphor. It's okay for you to be the superstar, Antoinette Ross is the boss. It's okay. But sooner or later, hopefully sooner rather than later, you're going to need to start owning things. Everybody put in capital letters, own, O-W-N, own. Own. Dear black folk or whoever might be tuning in with us right now, right? You either own or you are going to be owned. Your choice. You can collect the check or you can be the one that's cutting the check. Your choice. Own. He said sooner or later, you're going to have to start owning things. Let's get it. When Robert Frost wrote his award-winning poem, The Road Not Taken, in 1916, while living on an idyllic farm in New England, his life bore a little resemblance to what most of us enjoy today. Many of the amenities that we take for granted had yet to be invented. Our country hadn't developed commercial air travel, television, talking pictures, traffic lights, photocopiers, color film, calculators, frozen food, antibiotics, insulin, a cure for polio, or any form of nuclear energy. The uniform wage for unskilled labor was a paltry 10 cents per hour. Yet, thanks in part to the thoughts and ideas behind Frost's inspiring words, we now enjoy prosperity greater than ever imagined. The slow progress of the early 1900s is over, and today greater possibilities are rushing forth. Frost's poem doesn't just describe his feelings regarding his own personal choices. It contains a secret that lies at the center of the sixth law. So concealed within these lines is a wealth-creating formula utilized by nearly every multi-millionaire surveyed in this study. This life-altering secret is so powerful that it can spell the difference between you living in an existence of false security, engaged in a monotonous routine of performing the same task day in and day out, and living a life of power, possibilities, and control. The difference between monotony and power, possibilities, and control. The widely known principle could mark the difference between spending every waking moment of your life in neutral, content to place your destiny in the hands of others, and utilizing your God-given gifts and talents. This law separates those who live in a world bounded on the north by mediocrity, on the south by indecision, on the east by past thinking, and on the west by if only. By the time you finish this chapter, you'll realize that the door to the Millionaires Club is open. Everybody put in comments, oh, it's open. By the end of this chapter, you'll begin to realize that the door to the Millionaires Club is open. Contrary to popular belief, it never was closed. You'll grow tired of being characterized as someone who avoids risk and perpetually shrinks from the fight, or as someone who depends on others for his or her daily bread, someone who is constantly forced to adjust, robbing Peter to pay Paul, living only for the 15th and 13th day of every month. Here's a single truth that will define the difference between you violating your sacred birthright or unleashing your hidden forces, standing your ground and fulfilling your dreams. But no one knows when or under what circumstances this law will appear in your life. When that moment arrives, if its demands are few, but they are binding and non-negotiable. Many a bright and talented individual died in poverty and relatively obscurity because he or she failed to embrace this one simple rule. This one simple rule. Good morning to you, Miss Wakita and Nutrients in the house. What's going on, Channy B? Riches within your reach. Riches within your reach. Let's keep reading. Now, isn't it ironic that every individual is a stranger to his or her greatest strength until some crisis summons it out? Some of the wealthiest men and women in the annals of commerce and industry, examples can be found in these pages, never caught a glimpse of this slumbering giant until they lost everything, until misfortune overtook them, until every bridge was burned and all possible avenues of retreat were closed off. Everybody put in console, burn the bridges. Burn the bridges. It was only then that they formed a way out of their dilemma, a way to lean on their own initiative. Many of the financial elite were forged in the stern school of necessity by way of the sixth law of wealth. No amount of discouragement could force Mark Wilson to scrap his plans. Why? Because he saw the handwriting on the wall. When Wilson, a 15-year Dun & Bradstreet veteran, realized that the industry powerhouse was on the verge of outsourcing its call center operation, he seized the opportunity. I actually worked for Mark Wilson. I thought that that would be a great chance to approach management about my alternative strategy. Wilson shared in an interview. I knew it would be risky, but I was prepared to take wealth in a 7-year period. Wilson had grown his company, Ryla Teleservices Incorporated, from a 20-seat operation in 2002 to more than 3,500 employees. And revenues have climbed accordingly from 1.1 million to startup to more than 100 million in sales from 2002 to 2009. The firm's rapid expansion has not gone unnoticed. As of this writing, according to Inc. magazine, Ryla is one of the 5,000 fastest growing private companies in the United States. It is ranked as one of the top 500 African-American owned businesses in the nation by diversitybusiness.com. No amount of rejection could ever deter Sylvia Woods. She discovered the sixth law, applied the secret, and made a huge fortune of both money and opportunity. Born on a farm in South Carolina 85 years ago, Woods ventured to New York in 1945 in search of a brighter tomorrow. She soon landed a job waiting tables at a local Harlem, New York eatery. Surprisingly, she didn't even know how to prepare coffee and burned herself trying to serve her first customer. But she learned in 7.5 years later, the owner offered to sell her the restaurant. I thought the man was crazy, she recalls. I had no idea how to run a business, pulling out all the stops her mother mortgaged the family farm and loaned Woods $20,000. Scared to death in August of 1962, Woods took charge of the restaurant, changed the menu, and under the name Sylvia's began serving Southern-style home cooking. Her husband and 4 children pitched in, clearing tables, seating guests, and launching a family tradition. Today, hordes of patrons descend on this landmark that draws an international clientele. All wait patiently to sample Sylvia's spicy barbecue ribs, fluffy cornbread, and sweet potato pie. There's no limit. Everybody put in console, no limit. There's no limit to how far or wide the power of the sixth law can reach. Nearly a decade ago, Ken Brown discovered the secret, and not a moment too soon. Seated before an apologetic boss, Brown was informed that his position would be terminated. The cause? Corporate downsizing. Vowing never to be caught off guard again with pink slip in hand, Brown fought back tears as he explained his dilemma to his wife and children. Brown, as discussed earlier, Brown went on to make a name for himself in a host of fields. Today, after the sale of his McDonald's restaurants, he spends most of his time promoting his company, Ken Brown International, as well as lending a hand and breathing life into the dreams of those who need to hear his message most, aspiring entrepreneurs. The secret is passed on to Lonnie Johnson, and once he received it, no obstacle or roadblock could ever quell his spirit. Johnson is a member of what seems to be a vanishing breed, the independent inventor. As the third of 6 children born in Mobile, Alabama, Johnson was inspired by the legend of George Washington Carver. Growing up, Johnson was quiet and curious, driven by a fascination with how things worked. As he grew older, he began constructing a variety of gadgets and contraptions, including rockets powered by fuel cooked up by his mother's saucepans. At age 13, he bolted a discarded lawnmower engine onto a homemade go-kart and took it to a local interstate highway, only to have a bemused policeman escort him home. It was then that Johnson realized engineers were people who did the types of things that I wanted to do. Historically, engineering was hardly an obvious career path. Then and now, the profession was dominated by whites. In high school, a standardized test from the Junior Engineering Technical Society informed Johnson that he had little aptitude for the field. But he persevered, and as a senior, became the first student from his all-black high school to enter the organization's regional engineering fair. The event was held at the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa in 1968. Just 5 years after then, George Wallace unsuccessfully attempted to block 2 black students from enrolling. Johnson's entry into the competition was a creation he called Linex, a compressed air-powered robot assembled from electromagnetic switches he salvaged from old jukebox and solenoid valves he fashioned out of copper tubings and rubber stoppers. His imagination was shaped by what he had read in books and soaked in through the television series Lost in Space. For nearly a year, he scavenged junkyards searching for the parts he needed to build the robot's base. He constructed wheels and used his sister's reel-to-reel tape recorder for its eyes. The guts from his brother's walkie-talkies transmitted signals to the hunk of metal and controlled the movements. The finished product wowed the judges, who awarded Johnson first prize, $250, and a plaque. University officials didn't trumpet the news that a black teen had captured top honors. The only thing anybody from the university said to us during the entire competition, Johnson remembers, was goodbye and y'all drive safe now. Johnson went on to win the math and Air Force ROTC scholarships to Tuskegee University, where he received a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering before receiving a master's in nuclear engineering. He joined the Air Force in 1975 and subsequently held jobs as the Air Force Special Weapons Laboratory, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and the Strategic Air Command. Solid, respectable positions that made him a part of the scientific community. But at each step, he felt his creativity was stifled. In 1987, at the age of 38, he could take it no longer. He would go into business for himself, he decided, focusing on his own projects, which included a thermodynamic heat pump, a centrifugal air force engine, and a pressure action water gun. All I needed was one to hit, he reasoned, and I'd be fine. All I needed was one to hit. I'm going to read this again real quick. In 1987, at the age of 38, he could take it no longer. Now, I realize there's some people that are joining us here now live that y'all might be at that point. With that job, that boss, whatever the case may be, you're feeling the pressure. I've been there, done that, right? You might be at that point, you're like, I can't take this no longer. He was going to business for himself. He bet on himself. He decided, focused on his own projects, his own creativity, his own stuff, which included a thermodynamic heat pump, a centrifugal force engine, and a pressure action water gun. And he said, all I needed was one to hit. Now, I share this philosophy. I share with a lot of people. I said, hey, you know, all you got to do, if you just keep on striking, you keep on digging, all you got to do is strike oil once to get rich. But how many strikes that takes, we don't know. But if you keep striking, you dig deep enough, and that oil comes from the inside of you. If you go deep enough into you, all you got to do is strike oil once to get rich. Everybody put console strike oil once. All it takes is for you to strike oil once to get rich. So this brother was making he had all the stuff he made. All the stuff he created. He's an inventor. You realize, man, all I got to do is strike oil once to get rich, to make it all worth it. The same for you. All those multi-million dollar, all those billion-dollar ideas that you get, all that stuff that keep funneling through you, asking you to do something with it, all that stuff that keeps coming to you saying, hey, here's another idea that can help you to financial freedom. Here's another one, and another one, and another one. Will you do something with it? This is what God's speaking to you. Dream big. And all you got to do is strike oil once. We're reading from the book, The Wealth Choice. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. Y'all probably know about Lonnie Johnson now because we're going to start getting into how did he strike oil? How did he strike oil? Now, notice this, guys. This is the sixth law of wealth. He's staying in his lane. He's an inventor, right? And he's made a decision, right? He's got faith. He believes in himself. Now he's going out here saying, man, I got to make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen. Because me making it happen for them, that ain't gonna work for me no more. Okay, I've been there, done that. I'm 38 years old. Y'all ain't gonna keep talking to me like that. Okay, y'all that ain't gonna work. But all I gotta do, of all these inventions that I'm gonna keep on making, I'm gonna keep on trying. That's what he's doing. I'm gonna keep on trying. I'm gonna dare to. I'm gonna keep on trying. And all I gotta do, I just need one to connect. Just one. Change the game. It all began by accident. It all began by accident. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's be the last little section we'll read before we get up out of here, okay? In 1982, while debating the idea for an environmentally friendly heat pump that would use water instead of Freon, the concept of a water gun surfaced in his mind. Johnson had built a prototype pump, attached rubber tubing, and held the device over his bathroom sink. Aiming the nozzle at the tub, he turned it on and produced a blast of water so powerful that the mere wind from the spray ruffled the curtains. Wow, he thought, this will make a great water gun. He developed the prototype for his 6-year-old daughter, and rave reviews from neighborhood children convinced him that the device held commercial appeal. For 9 stressful and uncertain years, 9 years, Johnson hawked his water gun to toy makers. After countless presentations, not to mention sinking close to $15,000 of his own money into the project, he finally reached a deal with the Laramie Corporation. Laramie's goal was to produce 100,000 units per year of what was originally dubbed the Drencher. In 1990, despite little advertising, the gun became an instant hit, renamed the Super Soaker 1 year later. Johnson's invention became the #1 toy in the country. Today, the Super Soaker has been tweaked and repackaged with more than 20 different variations and remains a fan favorite. In the years since Johnson received his first U.S. patent, more than 200 million Super Soakers have been sold. Revenues estimate the toy range as high as $400 million. Today, Johnson is finally in his element. He no longer operates in the basement of his home, but in a meticulously refurbished 3-story brick loft featuring soaring ceilings and antique wood floors. His laboratory, however, is a no-frill space with galvanized electrical conduits descending from the ceilings through gaps where acoustic tiles are missing. On one wall in his office, a promotional poster created by the retail chain Target that features Johnson's face amid a pantheon of 19th and 20th century African-American inventors. Along another wall, visitors will find a row of plaques commemorating a dozen of Johnson's 100-odd patents, and hanging crookedly above his desk is a cheap black frame that contains an inspirational quote that has been attributed to Calvin Coolidge under the heading, "Press On." It reads, "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence." Everybody put in console, press on. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Press on. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. So I believe we're beginning to find out very, very, very quickly what this 6th law is going to be about. This is going to be about the keep on going, the press on, right? This is going to be about don't grow weary in well-doing. This seems that this law is going to be about persistence. I will persist no matter what. Press on. Brother Lonnie Johnson, 38 years old, said, hey, I can't take it no more. 8 years old, he made a decision to go for it. 38 years old, he said, man, we're going to make it do what it do with family, kids, all that good stuff. And he started making stuff. He started trying. He started pitching. 9 years later, a decade before he struck oil. Now, how many times during this decade could Brother Johnson have quit? How many times during this decade did the wife say, you know what, honey, I don't think this is going to work, or whatever? Who knows? We just being facetious. How many times during this 9-year period did his friends say, you must be crazy? How many times did all the people on Facebook say, hey, man, what you doing? What is that? How many times? Number 1, stuff that he read. Number 2, he made a decision. Number 3, he believed in himself when no one else would. Number 4, he stayed in his lane. He's an inventor. He invents stuff. Right? Number 5. What was number 5? Number 5. Oh, number 5. How may I serve thee? He served the kids in the community, and then he got the idea that this could be commercial. Then he started, boom, pitching it to the commercial. And then number 6, he pressed on. He did not stop until he got paid. Brother Lonnie Johnson here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. As we're reading about your story in The Wealth Choice, The Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by another black man, Dr. Dennis Kimbro, we put some respect on your name. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share some seed that was planted unto you today. Something that made a difference for you, something that you're taking away, something that you're going to do something with here today. We don't do this just to do this. We do this to make a difference. We do this to make an impact. Black folk reading early in the morning, we must be crazy. Yeah, we got crazy kind of faith, and we also have crazy kind of money. I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time, and why? Was this worth your time, and why? Now, you know them crazy people out there, they say stuff like black folk don't read. I think we're proving them different. We do read. We grab stuff out of this stuff, and we go do something with it. We don't just read to get information, to be filled with information. No, we take that information and we convert it into applied knowledge, which is wisdom. What's your takeaway from today? Now, before we get up out of here, I know I talk much faster than your type. I do want to do a quick shout out to our sponsors here today. I should have done that earlier. But nonetheless, our sponsors for today, I want to say thanks so much for helping us to do what we do, to continue to bring literature to our community. Our sponsor today, the Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric Marketplace, specializing in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, also Black art-inspired gifts. Check them out at theblackbazaar.com. Blackberry Charisma, Black woman-owned business, right? You can choose to do business with your own people, by the way. Blackberry Charisma, man, specializing in custom crafts. You know, custom T-shirts, custom mugs, things like that. They also have a pretty dope lingerie lineup as well at their store. You check them out at www.blackberrycharisma.com. Man, 5 Factor Consulting, a new sponsor for our show. Shout out to another black woman-owned business. This one here is dealing with finance. Say, hey, when you do walk away from dealing with this consulting company, you're gonna have better credit and better finances, man. Give you credit education, wealth building. They're notary service as well. So check them out, man. They have advantage that we address the whole source, which includes all 5 factors. We educate you on 5 financial strategies that restructures your current finances and empowers you to keep more of your own money. Check them out by simply going to the website, www.5factorconsulting.com, www.5factorconsulting.com, and another black woman-owned business here in Big Sis Media. There would be no ERGJ, the brand, if it wasn't for Big Sis. So all the things you see, the flyer that's up there at the top, you see the commercials that we run, all the stuff that we got going on, that's all powered by Big Sis Media. So if you're a black-owned business or any business, and you find yourself doing business like it's 1999, and you realize it's 2021, and you need to level up that business thing, you need to level up digitally, well, let me upgrade you by going ahead and get you in contact with Big Sis Media. Check her out at BigSisMediaGroup.com. That's www.BigSisMediaGroup.com. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors that help us to do what we do. Reading Rainbow 2.0 in honor of our brother LeVar Burton. That's right, man. Take a look. It's in a book. 30 minutes a day to keep broke and stupid away. Let's catch up on these comments, man. We'll get up out of here. New Black Wall Street Book Club with Black Folk Do Read. Let's see what you guys say, man. I will persist no matter what. Persistence pays, man. Persistence is the key, man. Never give up, especially on yourself and on your dreams. Miss Vivi Reed said, man, persistence will pay. Learning about how to become wealthy is not being taught like this here and abroad. Thank you so much. Absolutely, man. Black women, black girls, rocking Women's History Month here. That's right, on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Man, Miss Felicia Gardner said, man, we must step out on faith, believe in ourselves to work hard to achieve your dreams. Keep striking until you hit oil. Applied knowledge is wisdom. Tyrese Lewis, man. Yes, this is well worth the value. This is far outgains any dollar amount I can spend. Thank you. Thank God, ERGJ. Thank God for the BBC. That would be a nice t-shirt anyway. Thank God. After Reading Rainbow 2.0, man. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club where black folk do read. You put it in the book, like The Wealth Choice. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by our brother, Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, and I want you guys to remember this. that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. And thank God that's more than enough. We'll be back tonight with Black Man Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come show your support for your brothers. Man, we will be back tonight, 8 o'clock for Black Man Monday. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to get up, get out, and go get something. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
It's the new Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the new Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The new Black Wall Street.